Hello and welcome to this video. We are in The Sims 4 and this is going to be a toy and sweet shop speed build and it will be a residential business. We are in North Haven, which is the world which came out with Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack, and this particular lot is called Inked Inlet. This building is designed for that particular lot, but you can place it wherever you feel like. And if you want to download it, find it in the gallery under my ID Absolucy, and it's called Sweet Corner. As you were able to see from the overview, this building is heavily inspired by the winter time, winter holiday and Christmas. But even if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope that it will get you to that festive spirit and good mood, which is usually around that time of the year. This is a residential business, so at the ground floor we will have the store or the shop, and on the upper level we will have the living area, so you can really easily separate the area which is for living and which is for customers. And I really wanted to decorate this quite a lot, so sometimes I feel like it's a little bit over the top, but on the other hand I think I didn't go super crazy. I think I could actually decorate that even more, so maybe at the end it's not that much decorated as I thought it will be. Also, let me change the topic for a little while. Today is the 16th of December and that means that a new event starts in The Sims 4, and this event is login only, so you don't have to play anything to get your rewards. You just have to log into the game and get the reward. It's easy, it's simple, and I hope that you will be happy about some new items which we are getting for free. Let's get back to the speed build. As you can see in the video, I'm currently working on toilets for customers. They are tiny, but they have everything what's needed. And this entire build uses quite a lot of different expansion, game stuff packs and some kits. So it's definitely not friendly if you have base game only. I was going for a vibe which should be inspired by Enchanted by Nature, but it also uses Realm of Magic items. Well, you will be able to see it through the video. And also Life and Death expansion pack, because I feel like that goes well together. Now let me introduce you the owners of this lot, and it's elderly couple. Their name is Nicholas and Holly, or Nick and Holly, and they are very inspired by Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. So for this speed build, I did create them first because I find it way easier when I know what is the personality of the sim who is going to live in the build or who is going to own the business. Now I'm almost finished with this little room, and this is going to be an office for both of them. Holly has that little desk in the corner and Nick has the bigger one because he is the one who is kind of managing the business, although Holly is the owner. They both have their passions. Holly loves cooking, baking, making candies and treats, so she has a little sweet corner inside of this shop, and Nick loves to work with wood, so he has a corner with woodworking table and he is crafting that in front of the customers, and he also sells that in the toy shop because I imagined in my head that he is creating toys. That is not a thing that you could do in The Sims 4. You can't technically craft toys on their own, but I just imagined that because The Sims 2 has toy making table and I just wished we had that in The Sims 4. But with your imagination and certain items in The Sims 4, we can kind of pretend that we are crafting and making toys, and we can really sell almost anything that you are able to place on these shelves which allow you to sell items. So the only limitation is your imagination. Here I am working on this sweet corner for Holly, where she will be able to sell to her customers her bakery products, but also cocoa or a coffee. So she will be really happy when customers will enjoy whatever she prepares for them. I didn't want to make this as a little bakery. I wanted to make it as a toy shop, but I wanted to include something for Holly that she could do because I feel like love is spread through the food and something good which can go to your stomach. So I feel like toys and something sweet goes well together, because we want to have a lot of kids here from neighborhood that they will come, they will select what they like, what they want, but they will be also able to play with some of these toys because not everything is for sale. This is the part of the store where your customers will be able to buy whatever is displayed on these shelves. And I want to explain a little bit how it works with businesses and hobbies, because it might be a little bit confusing. You don't actually need a cash register. There will be no queuing customers if they purchase something. They will just buy whatever is on the shelves which allow you to sell the item. For example, these big stuffed animals that I just placed down, they are not for sale because they are not on any display shelf. But I wanted to create an illusion that this is all for sale, so your customers will be able to play with them, but they are not able to buy them. I also made a little corner here for kids who will come to the store, where they will be able to play with the activity table and with the toy box. When you are creating a business like this, you have to play around with the attributes that you assign to your business, because you have to be really careful what you choose to make it possible for your customer to actually buy item. So make sure that if you are selling anything from these shelves, you will choose browse and buy activity for your customers. Here I'm working on a little detail because I don't like when the shop and the access to toilets is so open, so I placed here this divider and I like it way better. And I'm creating a little corner with some seating so my customers can enjoy that cocoa or something sweet and sit down and a little bit relax. I really like the furniture from Businesses and Hobbies, and I felt like that perfectly fits into my shop, and I like the dark wooden tone. And of course, I can't forget the Christmas tree. We are building a toy shop, so there is not enough of toys, and here I originally placed these shelves where I wanted to display some toys, not for sale, but just to decorate it with them. And instead of that, I purchased these cubes, and I'm placing some wagons, some cars, some robots there, some boats, basically whatever fits in there. Again, if any of these items were placed on the display shelf that is for businesses and hobbies or from kids to work, it should work and you could sell them. When I was placing down these piles of gifts or presents, I was imagining that this tree would work the same way as you are able to see in some of the supermarkets or big shopping centers, where people are able to come towards the tree and take a wish from the tree, which is there from kids who are not so lucky and they are living in orphanages. And if you have the ability, you can buy that gift for these kids and you can come back with the item. You will give it to the worker who is usually there, and they will check it and pack it and deliver to those kids. You can't do the exact same thing in The Sims 4, but I was just imagining that this is the reason why that Christmas tree is there. Apart from the decoration, of course. Although one activity is in The Sims 4 that you can do in the game, and that's volunteering, and you can do that in real life too. But if you would like to have some inspiration, what are the winter holiday activities that you can do in The Sims 4, I have the entire video on my channel, and I will link it in the description and also in the card of this video. Through this entire build, you can see that I'm using quite a lot of wooden tones, and I feel like it's really important because it makes that place warmer. And I want my Sims customers to feel good in my business, so hopefully they will spend a lot of time there, which also means a lot of money, because as you can see, there is a kiosk here And your Sims will pay you for the time that they spend there, but also for the items that they will buy. I also included this shelf with books there, so your customers can buy books from it. And if you have a sim who has a writing skill, you can stock this bookshelf or shelf with your own books from your inventory. At this point, I'm adding some more details, some more decoration, because I have more or less everything in my toy shop regarding building and objects that I wanted to have there. So I am just looking for any empty corner, empty space, and I'm decorating that with little items. Now I'm moving outside, so I'm decorating these windows. This is a garland which is upscaled, and I'm also painting the exterior. This is the backside of my building, and you can see the main entrance to my living area unless you will want to go through the store. I am fencing this, so no sim will go directly to my entrance. I paved the entire lot apart from this tiny little bit where I left a space for a tiny garden for Holly. So it's more or less accessible from all sides of the house, and it will be decorated from all around as well. When I do a speed build, I generally finish with the outdoors at the very end, but this time I was continuing with the ground floor first, and then I'm gonna move upstairs and do that living area. I love lights a lot, but I also felt like it's gonna be too much if it's gonna be all around the lot, so I left it only from two sides, and it's basically the side that you can see when the house is placed in the gallery. So that's supposed to be the front of the lot. Also, as you were able to see already in the very beginning of the video, the ground floor is heavily decorated from the outside, but the exterior at the top floor is much more subtle. And it's for a reason, because I want to optically divide the area which is for living and the area which is commercial. I will have to adjust this hedge in a little while, because right now it's clipping through the walls and it is not realistic to have branches sticking through the wall in the office, so I will have to move it a little bit further. But on the other hand, it looks like it's growing through that little fencing, and that is a bit more realistic because it's slightly overgrown and apparently no one is a good gardener here. Although, speaking about the garden, as you could see, I left some pots outside for Holly so she can do some gardening. Here we are, moving the hedge. This room is tiny. It's basically just the entrance to the living unit or to the apartment unit, which is upstairs. But as you can see, I did use that space under the stairs, and I did place there some storage and some items which looks like storage items. But I also placed there the box with decorations that you can rummage for certain seasons. And we are finally moving upstairs, and we will be able to see the apartment of Nick and Holly in a little while. For this apartment unit, I was really generous with space, and you will see it. There is only one bedroom, but we have two bathrooms. One is a part of a bedroom of Nick and Holly, and one is separate, just in case if they will have some guests. And I will tell you, they love to host people and they love to make parties. Normally, I build smaller houses or smaller units or apartments, although I generally build houses and not apartments. But I wanted to be really generous with the space, so I could fit a lot of seating and a big dining table, all what you need if you like to host a lot of people. Figuring out the placement of the windows was a little bit challenging, especially in the kitchen area, because I hate it when my kitchen counters are blocking windows. So I always have to think ahead where I'm gonna place the kitchen counters, and I always try to do that on inner walls so it doesn't interfere with windows. And here I'm using the Grange mudroom kit because I really love it, and it's really common that in the area where I'm from, every apartment or a house will have this kind of, not mudroom, I wouldn't call it that way, but entrance, which is designed for storage. We take off our shoes there and leave there, and we take off our coats and hang them there. So it's really common to not walk inside in your shoes. I buy a very few kits. I generally don't like them because I don't think they are good value, but when this one came out, I bought it immediately on the day of release, and you could see my overview or small review of it. And I don't regret buying that. This is the main bathroom. There will be a combined shower with the bathtub, and it has some storage. These counters, or the counter and the sink, is from Cottage Living, and I really love it. And it's in a blue color, which I don't usually use, but I feel like blue is appropriate for a bathroom. In this build, I was trying to be semi-realistic because not everything is exactly realistic. Like, for example, I would include a washing machine and a dryer if I was going for ultra-realistic house. But you will see that I'm including these light switches and also radiators. I will tell you that I find it quite annoying when my Sims are leaving behind piles of dirty clothes and when they are not washing on time, so it just piles up. So that's one of the reasons why I sometimes don't include it in my builds. Other thing is that I do have a kit, Bust the Dust, and I find it sometimes really annoying that the dust is immediately on the floors, and I often think about it that I'm gonna disable the dust so it's not gonna spawn in my builds, but I didn't turn it off yet. I have to tell you that I did really enjoy building this, and for a while I had like a creative block that I felt that whatever I built was terrible and I didn't finish building it or making a video for yay. So I did really enjoy this one, and I wanted to use items that I generally don't use because, for example, I feel like this bed that only fits into like castles or maybe homes of some older people. I don't know. But I felt like here it fits quite well because I have at the end elderly couple, and it looks nice for this particular build, but it's not something that I would definitely include in any modern house. You can see that I'm using quite a lot of green color, and green is something which I relate to Christmas, same like red, but also gold, white, maybe even blue because that's like cold and snow. But green and red is very typical, so I wanted to use these colors in my build. It's mostly green in this particular unit or apartment, but there will be some red on the decorations that I'm gonna use too. This is the second bathroom, and it's directly accessible from their bedroom, and I feel like it's always nice to have access to the bathroom from your bedroom, that you don't have to walk anywhere in the night very far. And you can see there was a green and red towel, and here is another towel which is going to change to green in a second because that red felt a little bit too dark there. I'm not really having an order here, and I was furnishing a room which I felt like, so here I'm skipping the living room and I'm going to the kitchen which is connected with the dining area. These counters are from Life and Death expansion pack, and again I felt like it fits here quite well, and I'm gonna play around with this dining table and these chairs, but I really liked it because it gives me a lot of space where I can host a lot of other Sims. And of course I did include the fire alarm here, but I did not include it in the living room, and there will be a fireplace. So if you are going to download this build, probably place the fire alarm there too, because you know, this is The Sims 4. It's almost expected that something will catch on fire. I was wiggling around with this dining table and these chairs because I wanted that it's accessible from all the sides. So I had to move it a little bit further because I wanted to include that radiator there. When I was decorating this area, I was thinking about how much realistic I can make the kitchen, and I would say that this is again semi-realistic because generally we would have quite a lot of things on countertops, and most of us would have like a dish soap or even a normal soap by the sink, and I didn't include that. Sometimes I fake it with like the soap dispenser, but I would really like to have a dish soap bottle in The Sims 4. I'm not sure if it's in a kitchen clutter kit because I don't own it, but I have to look into the items there. But I would really like to have a dish soap bottle in the game. I could probably find something in the debug, but I find the debug items sometimes annoying because I, for example, love to place empty cups around, but Sims don't see them as a decoration. They do see them as something they should clean, which is very unusual because Sims usually don't clean anything after themselves, but somehow these empty cups from debug, they always wash, so it disappears. This room is a little working area for Nick and Holly, and I will tell you that Holly is the one who is making jewelry, and Nick is the one who is making candles. I generally don't play with these two objects much, but I felt like this is the perfect opportunity to place something that I don't use really often, and I will give something to my Sims that they can do after work and they can enjoy it, and at the end they can maybe sell it in their shop, although it's not a toy, but maybe there could be a little corner where I could display some of their crafts. I would like to ask you if you are a builder yourself. Here you see me using curtains, which I generally love to use in a lot of my builds, but I hate to work with these semi-rounded windows and find some good curtains for them. So which curtains do you use for this type of windows? Because I find them a bit annoying. We are finally moving to the living room, and as you can see I included the fireplace because that is a must-have, but because we have a fireplace I also had to include a chimney. I mean, I didn't have to because it doesn't have the function, although there is a graphical function. It does actually smoke when you have the fire lit in the fireplace, but I have to tell you that I had such a rough time to make this roof look a little bit more normal because it's super empty. It has the chimney on the top only, and I didn't find anything that I wanted to place there. At the end, I did place some more objects there, but I fixed it, or at least hopefully fixed that chimney a little bit with a half wall that I built around it, and you will see it in a second. And I also used the brick pattern on the outside, so it looks a little bit more like it does belong there. Through my entire build, I'm using quite a lot of these holiday wreaths, and some of them are from the holiday pack, some of them are from the seasons, and some of them are from the event rewards that we had last year. As I said before, I'm using quite a lot of objects that I generally don't include in most of my builds. Some of these items are from Life and Death, some of these items are from Crystal Creation or Realm of Magic, but I feel like they go well together and it doesn't look so awkward in this build. And I felt like this globe fits there perfectly as a minibar, although it has a limited selection of drinks. But I feel like it is a nice touch in the corner of the room, and there's gonna be a little table next to it. And one more time, I'm gonna repeat, I did not include a fire alarm above this fireplace, so if you will download this build, probably place it there because you can't ever be too careful with the fire in The Sims 4. If you didn't play the event last year, that picture above the fireplace is actually a flat screen TV, and when it's turned off, it looks like a painting, and I really love it, especially with that look of a forest or frozen forest. So I felt like it fits there very well, and it is perfect for my Sims when they have some free time and they want to watch some movie together. And this little gramophone is also a reward from the event from the last year. It's the Grim Reaper event, and I felt like it fits there perfectly for my two elderly Sims. Just in case, many of these items are from the holiday pack, which is for free available for the Sims 4 game, and you can download it if you own the Sims 4 base game, and obviously the Sims 4 is free, so this is a free content which is available, and many of these items are from that pack. As you could see in the very beginning, I always place quite a lot of lights around my build so you can see what I'm doing, and then I do the light that I want in my build at the very end. So I'm more or less finished in this living room, and I'm replacing the placeholder lights with the lights that I want to keep, and I'm adding some more decoration because there's not enough of decoration for Christmas, right? I'm more or less finished with the interior, so I moved outside and I'm placing these stones from the debug mode, and I will also fix that little edge of the platform on the top of my roof, so I'm gonna fix that trim in a second. Sometimes it's really annoying when you have different parts of the build that they don't paint at the same time, so you have to go around your entire house, and sometimes where there is a room, let's say, the game recognizes that as a different pattern, let's say, and it doesn't paint it there. But I will fix it and you will see it. I have to tell you that I really love this detail that I added this reindeer, and I also placed some hay there because I felt like it's super cute to decorate every side of the house, or not house but a lot. So I really love that. And I'm going here and there where I feel like it's missing something, so I added the curtains, and I'm adding some more light switches and the alarm against burglars because that's the last thing I want in my home business. And I'm gonna give you a little tip for you as well. If you own The Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies and you have a business, place some speakers that will play music in your shop, because it always adds some good mood to the customers, and it's really important for the rating of your business. These are really the finishing touches for my business and for this build in particular. I'm just looking around if I missed something or not. So I'm adding these bows because I find them really cute, and you will be able to see in a second some in-game footage, so I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I did when I did build it. And I think that I might do some gameplay video which will include this family. So let me know in the comment section if you would love to see some gameplay video which would include this family of Nick and Holly and how they are doing with their toy and candy shop. I would also love to ask you if you made it this far in the video, and if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please consider to subscribe to my channel, comment, like, share this video, or you can hype it because it always helps me a lot. Happy holidays to all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I will see you in some of my other videos. Bye!